Hello guys, welcome back to the new session of Programming Problem Taker. So in this session we have a new problem of SQL. This is a type of medium level of problem. It is an interview question also which is come in Nvidia and Microsoft's interviews. So we can start with the problem statement. So in problem statement they have said that find the number of transactions that occurred for each product. So we can break down this into two segments and we can say we have to find the number of transactions that occurred for each product. So first let me show you the number of data which I have provided. So the first table is Excel SQL inventory data, and the second table is Excel SQL transaction data. So we can see we have two tables, and now I'll show you how this data look like because I've already make the table. So first let me start the MySQL server. So you can see I have already these tables. So you can see we have these table set here, both two tables. So I'll just show you how the data is inside. First, I will show you the inventory data, Excel SQL inventory data, Excel SQL inventory data. Now I'll just show you the next table, which is of transaction data. Transaction data. So you can see in first table they provided the data for products. What are the products in inventory? So the products are five, which is of strawberry, apple, Fuji, orange, clementines, and blood orange. So in this table they also provide the units and the price of the products, wholesale price also, and the what are the number of products are stored in the inventory current. And in the second table they have provided the transaction IDs of the transaction of products, time, and the product ID for the which product is sold for on which transaction. So you can say in first transaction ID. So transaction ID 4 there is product ID 3 which has been sold, and in the production ID 24 there has been 3 product ID which is sold. So you can see there are multiple transactions here. So what we have to do is we have to find the number of transactions. So it has said find the number of transactions that occurred for each product. So for finding the number of transactions for each product, so you can say we have to join this table. So for that we can say select star from Excel SQL inventory data, join Excel SQL transaction data. So you can see we are joining this table by using the foreign key, or we can say we are using, like, we are not using the aliasing of the tables, we are just using the using syntax. By using syntax we don't have to write the on which condition we are joining, we just write using and the condition from which column we are joining, just choosing for matching the data. So you can see I'll use the product ID because product ID is the primary key in first table, and in the second table it is a foreign key. So if I hit the enter, you can see they have said the okay. So now you can see the data is the joined. So now what we have to do is we have to count the number of transactions by transaction IDs for the number of products names. So you can say for which product the number of transactions is, like you can see for orange it is of 1, 2, and 3. Three times the transaction has happened, so it will be an answer of 3. So for counting, we can write. So for counting, we can write product name, comma, and count of transaction IDs. Transaction ID. So it is said there because we have to provide the group by also because we are using the aggregate functions. We'll just group by product name. So now you can see there is a five products which have number of transactions. So we found the answer. So we'll just name the column of second as transaction record. So you can see for finding the product name we have particular transaction IDs. So in problem statement they have also said that name along with output the product name along with the corresponding number of transactions and order records by the product ID in ascending order. And you can ignore products without transactions. So we'll just order by the product ID. If we order by product ID, so you can see it is giving us the error because it is saying we have to use the product ID for the group by. So we'll just group by the product ID because so now it's working. So we'll group by the product ID because if one product ID has number of different products, so it will also check for these products or those products. So you can see we have solved this problem by using this method. So now I'll just show you this query in the MySQL workbench firstly. So you can see we can just write it as here. So you can see we have just used the group by, we have used the order by. If I hit the enter now, so now we have the answer. So as same we can find this answer by using another method also, another approach also. So first let me show you the tables, inventory data and the transaction data. So what we can do is we can find the number of transactions from the transaction data table. So in transaction data table they have the transactions and product ID. So we can find for which product ID is there a number of transactions occur. So we can just select star from SQL transaction data, select product ID, comma, count transaction ID from Excel SQL transaction data, and we can just group by the transaction ID. So you can see it has give us the number of different transaction IDs because we have grouped by the transaction ID. If we group by the product ID, so it will give the number of counts from the product ID. So now you can see we have the data as number of transactions, transaction data. So what now we can do is we can use this table and we can just join this table with the next table of the Excel SQL inventory data for the finding product name. So we can see we can aliasing this table. So let me show you this on the workbench because it will be easier to understand. So we can use the with CT method is, now we'll join the Excel SQL inventory data, Excel SQL inventory data, join CTE using product ID. So now we can see it is giving the error because we have not give the comma. So if I hit the enter, so now you can see we have the product IDs, product names, and the transactions. So what we need is we just need only the product name and transaction data. So we can see we can write the select product name and transaction data. So now you can see we have the same output as the previous, and we can just order it by the order ID. We can say order by product ID. So now we have solved this by using the with CT method. So you can see we have the same output for the second and S1. So that's all guys, that's how we solve this problem. Bye bye.